Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of NBA Talk, bro. Exclusive YouTube video. How you doing today, Max?
I'm doing good, man. I don't even remember the last time we did an exclusive YouTube video, bro, but it feels good. Shout out to the YouTube fan. Thank you guys for supporting, liking, subscribing, commenting. Man, anything you guys can do is great. I mean, let's just start off the video like that. We usually leave it for the end.
Exactly, bro. But let's get into it, man. Today we're going to be going into all NBA teams. First team, second team, and third team, Max.
How difficult of an exercise was this for you, Juan?
More difficult than I thought, to be honest. I heard it was easy for you.
Oh, no, it was not easy. It's splitting hairs at some point. Like, you're going to leave somebody off. Someone's going to say they're snubbed. Well, it's like there's like 20 good basketball players in the NBA, so someone's going to get snubbed. It's not like some years where it's like, ooh, we'll just put Cat on there. And it's like, no, Cat, you shouldn't be here, bro.
Yeah.
Is there anyone like you kind of regret leaving off? Like, don't tell me who that person is, but
multiple people. There's multiple people that I think that should have made it. Like, I feel bad leaving them off any of these teams, to be honest. But you know, the big man kind of restricts you from doing that. I think that's what it is. There's not that many good centers in the league, and it's really guard and forward, you know, like populated. But I mean, I got it done. I'll probably say I'm about 95% happy with my list.
I would give like 85% happy with mine because I'm not trying to get them right. I'm just trying to give you my team. Yeah. I think you're doing the same, right?
Same thing. This is not who we think they're going to vote in. They're probably going to do the complete opposite, and we're probably going to be completely wrong on these. But, hey, let's get into it. First team, Max. You say yours, and then I'll say mine, so you go ahead.
At the two guards, I got Curry and Doncic, and then LeBron, Giannis, and Jokic.
All right. My first team, I'm going Steph Curry at guard, another guard, Chris Paul, forward, LeBron. Then, as you can see, two centers, I got Jokic and Embiid.
You can kind of make the case there's times where Jokic kind of slides down, but I would say he's primarily just a center and plays most of his minutes at center. I didn't look it up. I'm kind of intrigued that you did that. Is there a reason why you did?
I think both of those guys deserve to be first team. One guy, obviously, that comes to mind, Giannis.
Oh, wait, you left him off, right?
Yeah, I left him off.
He's doing Giannis numbers. Like, I don't understand.
He's great. He's great, but Jokic and Embiid are on a whole nother level. And I know you're going to say the whole Embiid thing with him missing games.
Yeah, and honestly, you could kind of push that against LeBron, too, because LeBron's played 43, I think, out of 65 games. But the reason I put LeBron first team, I feel like I have to explain this, is because he was without AD for a huge chunk of the year. And if LeBron didn't, like, step up, the Lakers would really be in a bad spot. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and
I mean, it's really good numbers, 25, 8, and 8. He's been good on defense when he's like, and he hasn't been just taking like one of those LeBron years off. Yeah. I'd say he's into it for a majority of it. And you kind of factor in for him, he's only had 90-day off season. Everyone else had a pretty good off season.
And something that I just noticed that I did with my first team, I didn't even mean to do this, but all my guys are all MVP candidates. And they kind of just, like, all of them, of course, they're in different order, but I picked all my personal MVP guys: Curry, Chris Paul, LeBron, Jokic, Embiid. I think all those guys have a legitimate chance of winning it.
Well, I'll say this for sure: we're not going to touch on Curry or Jokic because I feel like those guys are the locks. And we'll just throw in LeBron because we had him. So we had 3 out of the 5 the same, right? Mm-hmm. So the reason I went with Giannis over Embiid, like you said, it's the games played, and I kind of try to stay traditional with one center. You can look at teams in the past; it's usually one center. And a lot of times what's funny, it's like it's the two best centers in basketball, and then there's like DeAndre Jordan holding down that third team for a few years, or like Rudy Gobert who's holding down third team for the last few years.
Yeah.
Just want to be honest, man, he's averaging 28 and 11 with 6 assists, and the Bucks, like they've been on a hot streak. They look a little different. I have more faith in the Bucks going forward. And I know everyone's always going to talk about their regular season team, but like this is a regular season thing, so I went with Giannis for that reason. I feel like you're kind of doing him a disservice and just like writing him off to second team.
I just think Embiid has been flat out better, and they're number one in the East as of right now, as we're doing this video. But
What's the games played for Embiid?
it's 45 out of 64. The time that we're doing this video.
Giannis is 54 out of 64. I know it's 10 games, but like that's like roughly Embiid's missed 20% of the season, maybe 30% of the season, while Giannis has only missed like 15, 20.
Yeah, but to me, I'm gonna stay consistent. Like a guy like LeBron has played less games than him, so if you got you put in LeBron, you got to put in Embiid, and it's a big reason why I picked a couple of these guys going down a couple of these teams.
Well, the injuries thing kind of threw a wrench in it because I mean, look, I'll say these two names we agreed that we were gonna leave them off. It's Harden and Durant. Yeah. Harden's played 34 games, and KD's played 28. That right there is way too few games.
Yeah.
I don't know what the like ratio is for you, but for me, it's like you have to play a majority of the games. I would say like 60 to typical year 70 to 80%, and then I start docking you some points. This year's a little funky, so I kind of like lowered it to like 60% to 70% because a guy like Tatum, he's missed a few games, but it's like, well, you had COVID. That's not really your fault. It's kind of like we're living in a pandemic. So,
well, look, I agree with you with Harden. We're gonna get a lot of backlash for that because a lot of people think that Harden should be an MVP guy.
Well, I mean, it's just he didn't play enough, bro. And I mean, I'm gonna hold this against him. You effed over Houston's team in the first 8 games. You didn't want to be there. You played like a bum. So I'm going to put that against you too. I almost put Kyrie in this, but he's played more games than LeBron, so I can't do that. I don't know if he made your team. He did not make my team. I'll just say that right now.
But for sure, just to tell you guys, if you guys are looking for KD or Harden, they're not in this.
Yeah, too few games.
But we understand, like, when they have played, they've been great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just this is a regular season thing. We're not going to pencil his name in because he's KD. This is the last disagreement we had. You had Chris Paul. I had Luka. Give me the case for Paul. Is it just
it's valuable? He's just way more valuable. 63 out of 64. I mean, you know how old this guy is, and he's only missed one game. 60. I know he doesn't have the points. 16 points per game.
Well, clearly it's not the stat argument. You can't make a stat argument. So it's just the impact of what he's done to the Suns.
Exactly, and he's been the clutch guy. Like he's hit big baskets this year.
I went with Luka not just because of the stats. I mean, it's gaudy stats, right? It's 28, 9, and 8. But for me, it's about like the way they play. They have to play through him. It's every possession. It's Luka, make a good decision. And I know he has a lot of turnovers, but when you have the ball in your hand that much, you're going to turn it over. And he's shooting 48% from the field. He's got his 3-point percentage up. And I mean, if you take away the first 2 months of the season and you just put this Luka in, would he make the first team? Because the first like month or two, he was bad. Like he was out of shape.
Yeah, he's fat Luka.
Yeah, big boy Luka, a little chubby Luke. So that's what I went with. I just thought the last few months he's been really good, and he's kind of like steered the Mavs on the right course.
I get you. But
Chris Paul, though, I mean, it's a stupendous year. It's you don't see a lot of 35 or 36-year-old point guards doing this type of shit who are small guys.
Yeah. It's basically like a pick and choose from here. But look, I think that's a great transition for our next team. Let's go over our second team All-NBAs.
I will go again first, if you don't mind, because I have Chris Paul locked in at the first guard position, Damian Lillard. My forwards, I have Kawhi Leonard, Julius Randle, and finally at center, Joel Embiid.
Big Randle.
I have a Randle argument I want to get into with you, but give me your team first.
I have Luka.
Okay.
Damian Lillard.
Okay.
Giannis, Kawhi Leonard, and Bam Adebayo for my center spot.
Well, there's really not much argument, so let's just get into this, because the reason I have Embiid is I went one center, and we have a lot of the same guys. Like Giannis, I understand why he's second team. For me, Damian Lillard, we both had Lillard, right?
Yes.
And you understand why I have Chris Paul second team.
Yes.
And let's just hit on Kawhi real quick. He's been steady. I know he's missed a lot of games, and he's just load managing, is doing his thing, but It's 25, 6, and 5. The way he plays on the Clippers, he's unstoppable in the mid range.
Yeah.
He's their best player by far. I know Paul George has had kind of a bounce back year. I thought Kawhi's been pretty good. He's been quiet. Like, this is typical Kawhi. Minus the rap album he's coming out with, which is the craziest bit of Kawhi news I've ever heard.
Oh, my goodness.
This is what I want to talk to you, because we're making this list a little early, a little premature, because we don't think anything's going to change, right?
Yeah.
We are operating in the inception. LeBron's coming back after 2 games. Is there a universe where Randall could slip into first team if LeBron doesn't play the rest of the regular season? Excuse me.
Most definitely. I agree with
That's
you.
That's not out of this world thinking.
It's not, because it's gonna depend on where's the value of these games missed. Like, how much are they gonna put into it? If they don't put much into it, a guy like James Harden is gonna make it. Like, straight up. That's the way I see it. And if they do value the games played, then a guy like LeBron might not make it, and Julius Randle will be a guy that can fill that slot.
To me, and I want to know for you after, if LeBron sits out, like, say 7 out of the last 8 games, right? And Randall balls like 35, 40, whatever the case is, you kind of got to start considering for first team All NBA. And I know that sounds ludicrous when it comes to LeBron James, but there's no denying what Randall's done for this team. Like, the Knicks have been the laughing stock of the NBA since I've been a kid, basically, minus a couple mellow years.
Yeah.
And Randall is the head of the snake. He's the guy for this team. He's the best player. Like, he's been one of the 10 best players in the NBA for my money this year. Like, there's a reason we left AD off the list completely. Too many games missed, and when he didn't, has AD been better than Randall this year, even when he was healthy? I don't think so.
No.
Because he was coasting, and that comes into it. AD's a better player than Randall, in my opinion. Same thing with LeBron, obviously.
Yeah, but this is a regular season type of accolade.
Randall has had one of the best seasons out of these guys. And he turned around the team, best guy on the team, got into the playoffs. And I mean, I'm not really basing this off stats. He's got more stats than guys because he plays a lot more than guys, but it's just the way it looks. It's like, oh, wow, he's passing better. He's shooting 40% from 3. So that's why I have Randall so high. Like, to me, Randall's on the cusp of first team if he can stay healthy and LeBron stays unhealthy. Knock on wood. I hope that don't happen because I want LeBron to come back healthy. Because honestly, to me, my biggest question mark on first team was LeBron, just because the amount of games missed.
Yeah, he was borderline, but when he did play, he dominated.
He really,
and it wasn't a little amount of games like KD. Like, that's just.
I mean, LeBron played a majority of the season,
Yeah.
Especially. I think AD not being there helped his case too. I think I said that though.
Yeah.
So I'm good on second team. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I want to get into Bam Adebayo and why I picked him.
You had him in second team?
Yes, second team.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 centers technically on the first team. Okay, let me hear it. Make the case.
19 points per game, 9 rebounds a game, 5.3 assists, 1 steal. Like, this guy's a unicorn. Like, he really is. He's a big man that can really play make. And I do think he sometimes runs the offense for Miami. And yeah, Miami hasn't been the best team, but he's been balling, bro. Like, I do think he's one of the most important pieces for Miami. Like, if he's not on the Heat, they're bad. Like, I don't even think they make the playoffs.
Did you consider him more for a spot or Jimmy Butler?
Bam. I considered Bam more.
Butler's been really good when he's been in, but I feel like he's been banged up for so many games.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of missed games.
And Bam played without Jimmy. Like, he kind of held the fork down.
To me, it's not even just about the numbers. There's like a defensive impact to Bam. Kind of a similar case with like Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons doesn't have like the eye-popping numbers, but it's like eye-popping defense and stuff. With Bam, it's like he can switch on the guards effortlessly. He might be one of the most versatile big defenders outside of Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of have a case for Defensive Player of the Year.
And look, I think that's a great transition, Max, to get into our third team. Let me just say mine real quick.
Yeah, lead it off.
I got Ben Simmons at guard. Another guard, Kyrie Irving. The 2 forwards are Jason Tatum and Julius Randle. And at center, finally, I have Rudy Gobert.
I told you, bro. Rudy Gobert. I'll say this: Rudy Gobert's on my team. He's holding down third team center, bro. My first team's Donovan Mitchell, Booker, Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson. I can't believe you don't have Zion, bro.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the most different team we've had, and it's okay. Give me Ben Simmons. I left him off, and that was the biggest guy I hated leaving off this team. If I had a choice to do it, I leave off Gobert and put Ben at center because I think there's some lineups where Ben plays where he's like the de facto big.
Yeah.
Like it's
There
him and
was
Mike Scott, and it's like obviously Ben's your center. He guards bigs, guards.
there was no way I was leaving Ben Simmons off of this list. It was between Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and him. And I feel like Ben Simmons is better than all those guys, and he's having the season to back it up. Like this guy's arguably gonna be defensive player of the year.
Even if he's not defensive player of the year, he's most versatile defensive player in the NBA, and it's not even close. I'll take the other guys. I got Mitchell and Booker. I think the regular season success of both teams, coupled with their phenomenal play. I mean, both guys are natural born scorers. That's what their bread and butter is.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to see Booker kind of revitalize on defense and just like overall, like Chris Paul's really brought out the best in him. And Mitchell, he's just taking kind of a leap. He's averaging 26, 5, and 4. I don't base my teams off stats alone because you can tell me and Juan both left off our favorite player, Russell Westbrook. Sarcasm, audio listener, sarcasm. I didn't put the guy averaging a triple-double who's inefficient and his team's not good. I will say there's one guy on his team I left off, Bradley Beal, man. Another
He was
guy.
tough to leave off. I was trying to find a spot for him.
Was Zach LaVine tough to leave off?
No,
I
not as
didn't
hard.
have him.
But he was considered, though.
I wrote him down as like an honorable mention. What is up with the Zion? What is up with no?
I wanted to so bad. Look.
It's 60% shooting and just dominating. I know
We
the
were
Pelicans suck.
We were thinking about cheating, okay? You wanted to put Ben Simmons at center. And I wanted to so bad to switch out Gobert with Zion.
I will let you make the exception right now. I will be okay with it.
Can I switch it?
You can switch it.
Because I really do. I want to keep Zion on there. And a lot of people are going to say, like, wow, like Rudy Gobert, you can kind of say the same reasons for him as Bam Adebayo. Like, he's arguably one of the defensive player of the year candidates. But there's a difference. One guy can score and another guy can't.
I mean, Zion's the alpha on his team too, so you got to take that. And I'm sorry you have to make 2 graphics, so you have to update our teams now. Sorry about that. But look, I think Zion's been too good, 27, 7, 60% shooting. Again, like I said, I don't care about the numbers. It's about like he's dominant out there. He can't do shit. He can't really dribble. I know his point Zion was a thing where he ran some pick and rolls, but it's not like he's a ball handler creator.
Yeah.
He's just going north and south, and he's just bigger and more explosive than anyone else. And he's one of my favorite players to watch, man. We had Tatum on this team, right? You both had Tatum?
Yes, but let's get into the elephant in the room. Why didn't you have Kyrie Irving? Is it the games?
Partly the game's missed, and part of it's like you're a jerk. Talent's off the chart, production's off the chart.
I mean, you can argue he's having one of his best career years.
It's definitely that, but it's also like, did you take numbers into a big consideration of it?
I took numbers, and I took him like holding down the fort with Harden. Harden's kind of playing more of the playmaker type dude when they're playing.
I mean, yeah, and Harden's not even been there. So
yeah, and I think
I hear you're making a good case.
And look, to me, if I'm gonna have LeBron on a list, I'm gonna have Kyrie. Like Kyrie played more games than Bron.
I feel just like with Kyrie, like the numbers are really inflated because of the style of play they play. And I mean, like I said, I don't really care about the numbers. I'll say this. He was good enough to warrant a spot. He was one of like the finalists before I crossed him off. I just thought the 2 guards I picked, Booker and Mitchell, have just had better seasons than him, especially when you couple in the fact they haven't really missed any time. Like if there was another guard on this list who had, like say Booker had played 40 games, I'd pick Kyrie over him. But I won't lie, I did hold like the absence against him and kind of being like the way of the absence of just vanishing. It's like, bro, really? Like I kind of took in like being a good teammate and leader. I'm sure Kyrie is both those things to his own teammates, but like, bro, you can't just vanish out there, you know?
I get you. It's kind of like the same reason with like Harden. Like you hold that against them.
That like he burned a bridge in Houston and was fat and out of shape. And
I just think this is the best Kyrie has looked in his career. I truly believe that. It's not even close. He's been absolutely amazing, and I'm not gonna leave him on the list. If he played all 82 games, I would have had him, right there instead of Chris Paul.
I would have had him over Luka for sure. I mean, like we said, Steph's a lock. He's one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah, but another guy that I left off that you have, Donovan Mitchell. now with my updated list, because you let me put Zion at center, I don't have no Utah Jazz on my team.
That's crazy to me. Like, you got to reward. Like, there's someone on that team who's been balling, and it's been Mitchell or Gobert. You can make the case for either.
But Gobert, dog, come on, bro.
Just because he shut down the
He's
league
a one-trick
time.
pony.
That one trick's pretty damn good, though.
It is. But Zion's better.
I agree with that. That's why I had both. But, like, Zion was a bigger
It was
lock.
tough. It was tough to leave out Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker. I was trying my hardest.
Well, this shit would have been even worse if Durant and Harden had not missed so many games. And look, I think that really wraps up our teams. I'm gonna hit some guys we didn't really talk about having a case for it. Bradley Beal. Is it just lack of team success and just?
Yeah.
I love the scoring, man, and I feel so bad about leaving him off. And I know people are gonna say, "Well, you guys always underrate Bradley Beal and stuff." Well, it's like, no, I really think highly of him, but.
Well, you can kind of say that argument with Westbrook. So what do you throw at that?
Westbrook's just inefficient, and he's really bad in crunch time. And I don't think Beal's that great in crunch time either. To me,
if you guys want to hear a Westbrook rant, go ahead and click this link up above, because we go really into Westbrook, and you'll find out.
And I'm just looking at this, and it's so hard. It's like, so obviously, like I said earlier, there's a snub. There's never a snub because all these guys have a valid case. Like, tell me Donovan Mitchell and Booker don't have a case. Like, I get Beal has more points, but when you play on a better team and it's more difficult, like, who's Beal fighting for touches? He's not fighting Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Maybe Russ, because Russ won't pass the ball. Let me look at this list. I'm looking at other guys. What about Trae Young? 25-9. The Hawks are kind of turning shit around. I mean, he has a case, but I feel like the early part of the year was so bad for them. It's like kind of washed away. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. Another guy that I want to bring up, our boy, one of our most famous videos. If you guys want to check that out, another link is going to be up above my head. Now, it has a lot of views, bro. It's a good video. Didn't really simmer well, but
it didn't age well.
Yeah.
Did not age well. Thanks, Embiid.
Nonetheless, Domantas Sabonis, was he in consideration? 20 points per game, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Probably the best player on the Pacers.
I mean, if you were going to make a case for him, it's the numbers and the way they play, how they, like, he's basically Jokic in the East. I just put the things that hurt him were just lack of team success. And, like, the Indiana Pacers have kind of had a really weird season.
Yeah, 9th in the East right now as the time that we're doing this video.
And I get the Karis LeVert, like, ruined it when he had, like, the cancer. Thank God he's okay. But, you know, there's reports today that the coach might be on the chopping block because he can't, like, get along with players, which is a really weird thing to hear from a coach coming out. But no, I didn't really consider him. I just thought there's been a lot of guys that had better seasons than him, and we love Sabonis. We made a video about him.
Yeah.
Maybe another guy, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton or Zach LaVine. Those are like the last two I have written down.
What about Jaylen Brown?
You had him.
I did not have him.
Oh, you didn't have him?
No.
That's your boy.
No, I decided to take him out. He was close. I was gonna have him and Tatum on the same team, but I ended up going with Randall. Like, Randall was too good to not put on the list.
I'm very shocked by the lack of, like, Randall love for me. I thought he would have been a second team lock. Truthfully, like,
There's just too many good.
I mean, I get it, but to me, it's just been like he's been so good, and the way that team is transformed.
Now, I mean, you're letting me flex. If I had my way, I would have Randall on my second team at center. But I'm gonna keep it the way it is. Like, instead of Bam. Like, that's how I feel about Randall. But it's just not enough spots. I try to keep it traditional. You let me flex on the third one. That's all I get, all right? I'm going to stick to it because I'm tired of editing all these different lists.
I would say Jaylen Brown, it was a little bit – I think it was him or Tatum. You can't have both because the Celtics have been bad, and it's not like those two are, like, the best teammate. Like, they're good teammates, but, I mean, they're just not, like, good together, which makes it kind of hard to put both of them on.
But – that's going to do it, guys. That's our all NBA teams. Thank you for watching our exclusive NBA talk. Got a full playlist down below, man, right here. Go ahead and check that out. We got a whole bunch of film breakdown and different type of NBA talk videos. So look forward to these, man. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. That is at Max_Juancast. Till next time, bro.
Later.